Yeah. Okay, I've started recording now. I think we're on part 5. We're just talking about. I've lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about? Do you remember? We were talking about making circles, and your designs are more um, off the cuff. You just make them up as you go along. And do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was mostly the case in the beginning. Then I took drawings with me, and then I was supposed to make that drawing to the field, but the drawing never left my pocket, and I just improvised. And I think the reason because of that, I was just trying to do different styles and different ways, or just um, different types of weaving and that stuff.
And what were your sort of later designs then? You sort of started making shapes then that you needed somebody else to be there. Obviously, I suppose if you were doing designs, you had to have somebody to hold the tapes and work with you. So were the initial ones you first started doing on your own, and then you started working with a team later on?
Yeah.
Now, how big is your team?
Um, the most people we had in the team was 4 people.
Right. Right.
Then we had to work the biggest circle we made in Belgium. We did like 5 hours with 4 people.
Right. So you tend to start about 10 o'clock when it gets dark, is it, and work till
Yeah, it was around 11 up till around 4.
just getting light then, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how big did you say these were again? This some of the ones you've worked on.
Well, the biggest one was about 5 tram lines, so I guess you kind of estimate how big it was.
Okay.
That's pretty big for the Belgian fields because the Belgian fields are quite small.
Right. And is it? Are you the only circle making team in Belgium that you know of? I mean, obviously, there are other circles apart from yours.
There is another team also which is working around the area around Brussels and Waterloo. We just stay in the Flanders area.
Right. Have you had any contact with these people?
Yeah, I've been in contact with the guy who started the other group, which worked in the Brussels area.
And have you ever done any work with these other teams, or
No, we just worked separately.
right? What what are their designs like compared to yours? Similar sort of work.
Um, yeah, quite similar, but not as much as we did.
So yours is bigger or more complicated? Which is it?
Well, not maybe not complicated, maybe not bigger, but um, they did like maybe 3 or 4 circles, and we did like 10 to 15 in one
Ah,
summer.
so you're the bigger team then in terms of what you put out. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. And I mean, this is a question that people put forward: is well, there are circles that appear abroad, and I'm interested to get you here now so that people can actually just hear from a circle maker that is in Europe. And I mean, you're obviously making circles because you've heard about them from TV programs and books and things like that. I mean, how would you say you first kind of learned about crop circles then?
The first year I was reading books and I found out crop circles existed, and then just took my tent and went off to England to see them.
Right. And then you did you find out then that people could make the circles, or did you go back home and make some and then kind of come to your conclusions about that?
Now I just running it a bit in loops and just trying to find out the truth, I guess, about circles. It was just a couple of years later where I really found out that people were making them too. And then I was also thinking, well, maybe there's also genuine and also man-made. And then that year I started to make the circus myself, and then it was pretty obvious they were mostly all man-made.
Yeah. So you really kind of think that there's nothing that you haven't, that you've seen that now impresses you that it is possibly not humans.
No, not at all.
Mm. I mean, I kind of feel like that myself, really. I mean, I do say to people, that I, I, I don't know every circle that appears out there who makes it, and that's my kind way of saying, well, maybe there are some real ones out there, because there are always some that we never know the authors of. I mean, is this the case in Belgium? Do you have circles there that you kind of just haven't met the people that are making them yet, or is it basically your team and this other team, and you kind of know what's been done?
Well, yes, for the most of the time, but just in one case we had made a small circle with four small circle rounds, like a Celtic cross type thing.
Sure.
And then the day after we visited to see how it looked, and I believe after that some additions were made, not by our team or not by any people we know of.
Right.
Most likely other people got like interested and tried out some stuff on our formation,
Sure. Yeah.
which is not the first time I know of.
And does a lot of this stuff get properly photographed from the air? Is it properly researched in Belgium? And have you got people apart from like Janet Ospard? Have you got like dedicated UFO groups and things looking into it in Belgium?
Well, yeah, I got in contact with a couple of pilots who were willing to fly over and take photographs.
Did you pay to go flying with these people, or did they offer to sort of do it for you?
They just flew over themselves and took pictures, and then they sent the pictures off to me.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So it does get properly reported then, and you do get photos of most of the stuff you've done.
Yeah, in the last 2 or 3 years, it really got into the media, into the newspapers and on television.
So you're kind of famous, but nobody knows you.
In a way, yeah.
Yes. So it's a strange feeling, that, isn't it? Sort of people everywhere seeing your work, that you've done, and yet nobody knowing really that it's you that's doing it. How does that make you feel?
Well, I don't think it's important who does it. I just think when you make a design in a field and you just give something to people to open up their minds, and I don't think who makes it and when he makes it and how he makes it isn't really important.
So you've never had aspirations to make money, from anything. You just do it purely, because you believe in the idea of doing it.
No, not at all. That was never our intention to make money out of it or to have a kick out of being in the media,
Mm.
to have your designs on the news and stuff.
Do you think
Or
would it negatively affect you if you were brought out as known as a Circlemaker, or would you think you'd be okay with that? I mean, probably you're happy, sort of not getting in any trouble over it, I suppose, like I did. But
well, there was one case when we got back to a circle we made the day after, and the farmer got pretty pissed off, and then he tried to make me pay for the damage.
well, he said it was you. He thought it was you.
He thought, because we were the only people in the field during that day, so he thought, well, those visitors most probably made it.
Hmm. Interesting.
He contacted the insurance company, and the insurance company called me and a couple of the guys to ask a certain amount of money for the damage.
Shit.